call them up. And in a way, they're sort of a catalog. They're kind of I would say a glorified Tesco speak. But they are Motorola, one of Motorola's largest distributors in the country. No question about it. They move a lot of product. They're not only Motorola, but I think they also handle different brands as well. I think they have ICOM and Kenwood as well as their brand. So they're really a distributor, that have, several offices in key areas. They have offices in Texas. They have offices in California and in different parts of the country. So they're a large distributor. So basically those are the dealers. The dealers don't have to be set up as a dealer in their geographic territory. Territory and everything else. I can just call up Bearcom and say, look, I'm a two-way radio dealer. I need 50 radios. Bearcom will say, hey, they're in stock. I can ship them out tomorrow. They process a form of payment and they ship out the product to the dealer and he gets everything done. Where the manufacturer's rep, they basically are responsible for fostering that dealer network in their geographic territory. In other words, a manufacturer's representative will have maybe 3 or 4 states. What they do is they take on different brands of products, right? They have a portfolio, right? They have their portfolio sheet, and they'll go to a local dealer and they'll say, look, I've got XYZ antennas, I got coax, I've got test equipment, and the radios that I sell in my portfolio, I sell JVC Kenwood as my radio, and the other manufacturer rep, may say I have Vertex in my portfolio, and then the other guy say I have ICOM. So it's really up to the manufacturer's rep to go and engage with that dealer and help that dealer promote, the manufacturer's rep there, whatever they're repping at the time, that particular manufacturer of two-way radio. So a Kenwood man rep would come in and say, hey, I'm giving you promotions. Make sure that there's signage in the dealers in the dealers' offices. Make sure that there's decals on the vehicles in some cases. And most of the cases, the man rep will get 1 to 2% of everything that goes through that territory. So if he has 3 or 4 states, and within those 3 or 4 states he has 20 dealers, he'll get paid 1 to 2% on everything those 20 dealers process, and they'll order directly. And those dealers will order then directly through the manufacturer. So they'll process an order directly through a Kenwood or an ICOM or a Vertex, and they're large enough where they don't have to go through a distributor. And that's part of the man rep. The man rep will determine, is the dealer large enough to buy X number of dollars per year of product? If they're not, then that man rep may, tell the dealer that him or her would be better off going to a distributor because they just don't buy enough direct. Because there is an economic threshold where the manufacturer of the radio, so a Kenwood or an ICOM or somebody will say, okay, for a dealer to come on board to deal directly with us as a manufacturer, we really need to see, $100,000 a year of products purchased or $500,000 a year because their costs associated with working with, hundreds and hundreds of dealers nationwide versus dealing with 2 or 3 distributors, major distributors, and just have everybody buy from the distributors. So there is a threshold, economic threshold, that the man rep is responsible for vetting those dealers to say, yes, that dealer will work, $500,000, in business, so therefore the dealer should buy directly from the manufacturer. Or the man rep will say, hey, the dealer's going to sell $20,000 worth of product a year, therefore the dealer should really deal with Tesco or another distributor somewhere in the country. And of course, buying direct, you're going to get a better price. Buying a distributor, you're probably going to pay between 8 and 10% more than you would if you bought directly from the manufacturer.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you have any? So it sounds like for the most part, the customers of the distributors are dealers rather than the end users of the radios. Is that a fair characterization?
I think it's both. I think that once the end user realizes there's a Bearcom out there and Bearcom will sell to anybody almost, then a lot of the times the end user will sell directly. Now it's up to Bearcom sort of to police that, right? There are some restrictions that the manufacturers even have on Bearcom, as big as they are, to say, hey, if you're going to sell directly to the customer, don't cannibalize our dealer channels. You need to basically stick with the price. Unless they have a resale certificate and you can verify that they're going to resell the product and sell it and they're going to support the product, then they're not going to get the quote-unquote Bearcom wholesale pricing. They'll just get the standard, wholesale plus whatever for consumers that buy the product directly. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes the consumer will get very savvy and decide, hey, Bearcom is where, my dealer is getting their product from. I'll just bypass the dealer and buy directly from Bearcom or buy directly from a Tesco or somebody else. And it's much easier in the higher volume distributors because, their job is to move product, lots of product that they warehouse themselves directly. So it happens, not every time. And then the dealer, of course, that's asked to support that product after the customer buys direct isn't the easiest task either, because the dealer may say, well, hey, Mr. Customer, you bought directly from Bearcom. I think you should get support from Bearcom and not from me. So part of the purpose of paying more and buying through a dealer is you get that dealer support.
Okay. Do the Bearcoms of the world also offer support similar to what someone would get from buying from a dealer?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So Bearcom has enough shops that they do support local service in the areas that they're covered. Absolutely.
How important would you say, or I guess how differentiated are those aftermarket servicing? How important is aftermarket servicing to the end consumer, and are those services really different between the distributors and the dealers?
So Bearcom is basically a certified service center for Motorola. So which is a big deal, right? So if I want a product and I want to get something serviced, Bearcom, has the ability to service that. I mean, Bearcom handles, all kinds of products, ICOM, Vertex, all kinds of stuff. They keep, buying more and more and expanding more and more, but it is a differentiated service, for the local dealer, to support, the folks that you've been dealing with for 20, 30, 40 years. That's a very important thing for that local dealer to support. I mean, Bearcom does it, I think, in a broader sense. I mean, it's the difference between going to, I view it as, if you were fixing your lawnmower and went to True Value Hardware, you could get the same parts from True Value or Lowe's, but you're probably going to get a lot more customized face-to-face, one-on-one support from True Value Hardware than you'll ever get from Lowe's. So same concept here on the two-way radio side, right? If I support and long-term support and the ability to get support after hours or whatever it might be, or install in a vehicle, I can go to my local dealer and get that kind of support. If it's just pricing and convenience of having something drop shipped, then Bearcom would be the way to go without the dealer support. So I hope my analogy wasn't too simplified, but the True Value Hardware store analogy, I think, is a good one with the two-way radio side.
I'd imagine it varies by end market, but are customers generally, would you say that price is a primary consideration in purchasing and that service is somewhat secondary? Or is servicing so important that you can command a premium for good service?
In the higher end product, yes. In the lower end product, no. I mean, the lower end product, some of the radios are, $200 or less, or $300 or less. So one service call for those radios are, or $85, $90 to come out and do a service call on those radios, or that radio to be sent into the shop to get it repaired. In a lot of cases, a lot of customers, hey, they're happy dealing with, in the mail. They either have all portable radios or a few mobile radios. They don't mind taking a bad radio out themselves, just shipping it off to Bearcom, getting it repaired or replaced, getting something back in via UPS or FedEx.
So maybe staying on the competitive landscape topic, we mentioned, we've talked about a few of the big players. Have any of them really taken share from any of the others over time, or has it been a relatively steady competitive environment?
So I would say Bearcom and just the sheer ability to acquire additional, other companies. So I think that's they've done a great job in there. They've had a lot of support from Motorola as a company, since Bearcom is their largest North American distributor. So from a market share perspective, they've done a great job in capturing and taking market share from other smaller distributors. There are a lot of distributors out there. Most of them are small. Most of them are very geographically restrained in the Northeast or in Florida or, California, that kind of thing. Where Bearcom is literally structured nationwide to satisfy the needs of primarily Motorola as a company. But market share, day wise.